So let's just do 30 seconds. Okay, I've seen enough. No, I'm joking. Keep going. Okay. So I want you to think about now where you reckon Eric is going to get the most tired. Okay, if just watching him, where do you think he might get tired and how quickly might he get tired?
Show us how it's done, mate. Don't break it.
He's like, I'm going to copy Eric because he's a champion. Can you hear anything different in the flywheel? Yep.
It's going harder.
Yeah. I mean, you can see that on the screen too. Yeah.
Oh, geez, Robbie,
that's okay. But where do you reckon Robbie's going to get the most tired as well? Yeah. You can already see it. Okay. I'm so glad somebody had the butterfly. This is great because now we've got all this stuff to talk about.
I only know the skiing way.
Okay. Ski the skiing way.
I don't know the other way.
Imagine if he split his jeans. He won't split his jeans because doesn't have to use his legs as much. Good. Beautiful.
Seems like you've been getting coached. She's been getting.
I know.
So basically, I'm going to watch this and just.
And then I don't have to do anything. Everyone just copies Sam. No, I'm joking. Okay, so now if we watch Sam for a second, where do we think that the work is being done? Okay, so jump up for a second. All right. So first two people. Robbie and Eric, what did we notice they were using mostly?
So it's almost the squatting.
Yep, really quad dominant. Okay, did your quad start to get a bit tired? Yeah. Well, actually, I'm talking to like two champions. What is tired? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the answer to that question. It was very, very quad dominant. Okay, so both of you were ending up in that position there. And because you were slightly tilted forward, load was actually staying in your quads. Whereas if you kept your hips slightly higher and sent them back, you would have transferred the load into posterior chain. So we do actually want the start of the drive to be quads. Okay, but as quickly as possible, we want to ground through those heels so our glutes and hamstrings switch on and our quads switch off. Okay, so really similar to when you're actually using the erg, we want the initial drive to be a lot of quads, but as soon as we can transfer load into that posterior chain, the better, because then our quads start to recover. And the exact same thing on here. Okay, so you want everything to stay super engaged, and then you get to a certain point where the handles are actually weightless and they just finish off to give your body more time in that posterior chain loading, because that's more time deloading these driving muscles. Okay, so the pullback at the end has come from Nordic skiing. A lot of people see the motion of Nordic skiing as that. So people pivot over their poles, so they actually move their hips forward and the poles are there. But the way that we do it on the SkiErg is we pull the handle all the way behind our body. And all that actually does is similar to when you see a CrossFitter row and they pull the handle to their chin. Okay, so they're in their brain, they're like, I'm getting the handle further. Yeah, but it's not actually getting any further on the flywheel because it's already moving. So what all of you guys, some of you guys were doing was handles were ending up behind our body here, which gives no mechanical advantage on the machine. As the sport of cross-country Nordic skiing ends up there, it does build the pattern of the actual sport for sure. So if that's your sport, then that's a different consideration. But the fatigue that goes through your body is handles ending up behind you means body pivots forward. Okay, body pivoting forward keeps the load in anterior chain there and triceps. Okay, so the complaint you'll get from most people that use the SkiErg is, oh my God, my quads felt like I was going to blow up and my triceps felt like they were going to blow up. Okay, and that's not what we want at all. So you probably saw when Sam did it, she actually had feet grounded, hips higher than knees and handles in front of her. You can see that this is not a functional crossover to Nordic skiing in any capacity, but it is a functional crossover to everything else that people do in normal movement and a more functional crossover to rowing. So if you think about the catch position, the loading that has to occur to be in the proper catch position, super similar to the finish position on the SkiErg. So what I'm going to teach all of you guys now is the actual motion of it. So we have where we set up is something really important, because we probably noticed that Scott was all the way back here and Eric was here. Okay, so we don't know where everyone should stand. So the way that we do this is we grab onto the handles, stretch out your arms so that they're directly in front of your shoulders, and where your fingertips hit the frame is how far back you actually want to stand there. This doesn't work for everybody. There are some randoms that have really long or short arms, and you have to change it. What's that? Yeah, exactly. For each of you, you're going to grab onto the handles next time you get on, reach out your arms, and that's where you actually want to stand. In terms of the perfect like height and build to use the SkiErg, it's pretty much you, because when you are actually really quite tall, it's easy to be lazy at the top. Like, it's because you can reach there and be really, really lazy. But for somebody like Robbie, he's going to have to really get extension through his body to reach the top. So he's actually the ideal height and size. Show me where to stand. Oh,
so
he's the perfect height. He's like, I'm going to show you, Robbie's not the perfect man. Okay, so I want to talk about the catch and the finish position. So I've created all the terminology when we ski to be really similar to the terminology on the ergs, and that's because I coach a lot of trainers in gyms, and I want them to have the same system to be able to teach the rower and the skier. So we've got our catch position. So our catch position actually starts at the floor, and it's triple extension. So triple extension talks about ankles, knees, and hips all being in an open extended position, okay? The reason we want them in an open extended position is because then we have the opportunity for triple flexion, which means we can create a lot of downward force. And if you look at Eric right now, his huge advantage on the SkiErg is how much force he's going to be able to create downwards. His disadvantage is going to be having to lift himself all the way back up again against gravity, so it's going to be very fatiguing. So for him, we are going to really teach him a very low stroke rate, a lot of power, because every time he has to stand up against gravity, he is going to be using way more energy than he needs to. So we want a slow stroke rate, lots of power, triple extension. Now, get up into ankles, knees, and hips. Good. So in that triple extension, so get up on your toes. Good. He has got to have glutes on and core on. This is what I was talking about before. He can reach there without doing it. And so what most people do then is they get rid of one of the extension points here, but all that does is put him in a weaker position. So let's talk about them. If he went flat-footed here, he then wouldn't have that extra elevation of drive, which is an assistance with gravity. If he went bent knees, it means that his quads are already, I hope you don't mind me touching you, by the way. Okay. Wait till I get into his hips. Okay, so his quads are already loaded, which means at the top, his glutes are deloaded, and we want his glutes to be loaded. So we want that legs straighter there, hamstrings and quads loaded. Hips open there means glutes are on. So what do we do? We relax his arms. Yep. And he actually gets to be in that position there where lats are still engaged, core is on, butt is tight. Now, this stability in this top position is really difficult, and because he's never had to do it either. So that's his top position. Even squeeze your butt in a bit tighter, like this in tighter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good. And now go down to the bottom position. So just drop down to what you think it is. Good, so we want heels flat. So feet completely flat. Good, okay, and butt a little tiny bit more back and knees bent.
Oh, so more like that.
More like that, yep. And you really are gonna throw your hands down in front of you so they're about, yeah, fantastic. Okay, so this position here where his hips are in relation to his knees, you can see how loaded he is there, as opposed to where he was actually before, which was hips. Yeah, he was a lot more compressed than he needs to be, which means he's got to lift his whole self up way further against gravity, okay? So I'm gonna put each of you in the catch and each of you in the finish position so you can feel what it feels like. Good, and you're gonna be like a bit more aggressive when you actually throw it down. Get up nice and tall and really squeeze your butt. And initiate the drive with your feet rather than your arms. Tiny step, just so your heels are on the SkiErg. Even more tiny. That's it. Good, get up tall, make your, that's it. Good, rest.
I'm looking at my force curve now.
I know, yeah, the force curve's going to look slightly different, yeah.
It's
I know.
not bad.
It's actually really good, I know.
It should be like a rower.
Yeah, it should be, because it's the same. Okay, so Robbie, can you get on?
Go, Robbie.
And show me where to stand, and then show me your catch position, okay?
Is that right?
Yep. Perfect. Okay, now go finish position. Show me the bottom position. It's perfect. Okay, now ski. I know that doesn't happen. Okay, now start to ski. I know. Good, a little bit more force there. So drive down through your heels. Get up tall, don't shorten your catch. Good. Don't rush. Good. Good. He actually is, yeah. And rest. That's great. Beautiful, Robbie. Great, you can relax. That's better. Yeah, really well done. Okay, you guys want to have a go?
Yeah, just before we do though, this is the last time Robbie's allowed into the facility, so you might want to look around. This is the last time you're coming in.
I love this.
People specimens here.
I know, it's hilarious. Usually this takes me 3 hours to teach people, just so you know.
I'm much closer.
Yeah. Yep. And you'll definitely find that with women who are using this is they will stand really far back because we're really scared we're going to hit our face on the screen. Okay. And what happens is we often end up there when we start to get tired. So we think we are going to hit our head on the screen, and instead of putting ourselves into that position, we just go, I'll just step back. Beautiful catch position. Good. Let your arms be light. Get up tall. Good. Good. Let your hands go straight up. Don't hit me in the face. Good. That's better. Good. Now try and do it not moving as fast, but with lots of power on the way down. Still get up on your toes. There you go. Good. And hold that bottom position for me. So stay down there and wait. Good. Okay, so what's happening when you're in motion is you're ending up with that happening, which means you're disengaging through your core, okay? So at that bottom position, I want you to stay really strong through there and almost pause there. Good, and hands just outside and in front of your knees. So I'm gonna get your hands kind of out. Yeah, there, okay? So hit that spot and see how loaded you are through there and how strong you are through there right now. That's what we want, okay? So go back up, get back to that position. Good, ground those heels. Don't rush. There you go. And throw those hands down in front of you. Good. Good. So I know I'm giving you 100 things to focus on in a very short period of time, but as you go down, can you try and push your knees out? There you go. Good, let your hands go straight up. And now you're using your butt. That looks really good.
This is where I humiliate Robbie.
I know. A bit further back, I reckon. Like stretch out. Yeah. Yeah, he actually does, doesn't he?
Well, look at my knuckles from when I walk.
Yeah.
I'm the first in my family to not have a tail.
Oh. I love it. Okay, show me your catch position. Good, so get up on your toes if you can. I know. Get some photos of this. This is great. Just, anyone can ski. Okay, now go to your finish position. Good, so I'm going to get your hips slightly lower. Good, and knees out. Good, and core on and eyes on the screen. That's it. Okay, so we've got lats on, we've got core on, hamstrings and glutes are on. Where you were...
What if I don't have a core?
You definitely do, I can see it. Okay.
That's not my core.
Okay. Come back up again.
That was my, there's too many burritos.
Okay. Man, I love a good burrito.
Oh,
Okay,
tell me about it.
get back up on your toes. Good, now come back down to your finish and see if you can find the right position without me coming over to you.
Oh, just farther apart and somewhere around there?
Yep, and where are your eyes? Great, fantastic. And look at how good his back position is there. How much better it looks. It is, isn't it?
Strong.
This is on.
Strong.
Okay.
Would you say stronger than Robbie?
I actually am pretty sure. Who's Robbie?
I don't know. He's not allowed in the building anymore.
Okay, so now just show us in motion. See if you can string it all together. Otherwise, we'll remember who Robbie is and have to get him back on the ski. Good. Don't lose contact with the screen there and bend your knees a little bit more.
Oh, that's really good.
It's pretty good, but really drive down through your feet and extend through your ankles. There, good. And don't fall forward. Send your hips back rather than falling forward. Better. And bend your knees a tiny bit more. And that actually looks more like your cross-country ski technique than what you were doing before as well. But that's basically what I teach in a whole lot of more like fluff, but kind of race through it. I enjoyed it. Thanks for being such good students.